Confusion is a control tactic. And the easiest way to manipulate people isn't with lies. It's by mixing just enough truth into the equation that people start to doubt themselves. It's known as the gray zone. It's this psychological fog that narcissists, certain politicians, and entire systems can keep you stuck in. And if you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. The gaslighting, they'll always say things like, "You've remembered that wrong. That isn't the truth. No, I'm not doing that." And like on a global scale, it can sound like, well, nobody really knows what's going on anymore. And it feels that way, doesn't it? It's because the strategy is the same. When you are confused, oftentimes you don't take action and you become compliant. Your nervous system goes into survival mode and you'll do almost anything to feel stable again, even if that means giving your power away. And right now, the collective is starting to wake up. I don't really understand how the East Wing needed to be torn down for a 90,000 square foot ballroom to be created, which is why I have this picture right here. I mean, people are going to starve in America when they lose access to SNAP and other critical programs. But we in America, we need a ballroom. That's the gray area, the gray zone. In fact, legally speaking, we're not even certain if this is entirely a violation of Section 106, as is connected to of the NHPA. I mean, the symbolism is of history being bulldozed, a choice made by just one individual without respect for heritage law, and definitely without governing transparency. Major structural changes like demolitions or even new construction should be reviewed by the compliance laws that are connected to federal preservation and its law. But it's a gray zone. Nobody knows how to really respond to it. Everybody's just sitting here in confusion. Ambiguity is the camouflage of individuals who understand how to manipulate the gray zone. And when gray zone trauma starts to form, it comes up in 5 ways. And this is whether this is personally happening to you or if it's happening to the collective, okay? The first aspect is cognitive dissonance. It's holding 2 contradictory truths. It's like what you feel versus what you are told. The second is self-doubt. You start to mistrust your own perceptions. You stop listening to your intuition. You might even stop listening to your own memories. The third type of gray zone trauma is emotional dependency. It's when clarity is truly withheld and you start to get hooked on small bursts of approval or what is approved as the truth. That leads to the 4th thing, which is nervous system deregulation. You become hypervigilant, you have anxiety, insomnia, somatic tension in the body, digestive issues, and long-term exposure to the gray zone can lead to autoimmune conditions. If you know, you know. Because the final gray zone trauma that starts to form is identity erosion. It's where you simply shape shift to try to survive because you've lost a sense of who you are. And that's what this image today triggered within me, is the gray zone trauma, the identity that's being lost. And when people manipulate the gray zone, it prevents accountability. They always come up with another story, another interpretation, gaslighting you. They work to isolate the victim They make certain that outsiders cannot really see what is happening. And gray zone manipulators work to feed control by making you doubt yourself and instead rely on them. Ambiguity is the mechanism for control. So let me remind you on how to heal from gray zone trauma so you can be sovereign and empowered in your journey again. I think the first thing you have to start with is reality checking. Write down the timelines. Look at your journal. Look at the facts. Talk to trusted people. Have conversations where you can validate your experience. I think it's critical to focus on nervous system repair. Trauma-informed therapy is beneficial. Breath work, somatic work, in certain cases, EMDR, or other body-based methods to heal your nervous system. I think it's critical to relearn trust in your intuition. Gentle exercises to help you notice what feels true before seeking external validation. It's important for you to get into understanding what your boundaries are and to be clear about those boundaries. Learning how to say no. Learning how to communicate in simple, factual terms. And avoiding long debates that bring you back into the fog, that bring you back into the gray zone. And finally, I think self-compassion is critical. The confusion that you've been experiencing isn't your fault. It is the result of a gray zone manipulator. And essentially what was happening that got you manipulated is that your brain was trying to keep you safe. So have some compassion, because the gray zone feels like a permanent twilight zone. It's like your eyes strain to see, but nothing comes into focus. So between now and spring of 2026, expect to see more metaphors of the gray zone. And maybe we'll start to see the emergence of truth and fact. Because the gray zone is often built on false narratives, where secrets start to be exposed. People start to wake up from the illusion, and the nervous system of humanity and the collective itself is recalibrated. Because I think physical metaphors like this are starting to wake people up. So if you have been feeling foggy, anxious, uncertain, scared, understand it's because you have been gaslit for quite some time. You're not crazy. You're waking up. So it's important for you to trust your intuition and to remember that the truth will always come to light.